This is the Video Connoisseur, and this will be my first proper collection video. It took me a few weeks to decide exactly how I was going to start approaching showing the collection, just because of just the sheer number of videos that I have in different formats. And those of you who collect will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just it's really more than a notion to attempt to show what you have or show the videos in your collection and trying to figure out exactly how to approach it. I want to give a shout out to the damn fool idealistic crusader. There are several Laserdiscs that I wouldn't even own or be aware of if it weren't for him. And also the culture dog, because for the same reason. Also to the choice voice, and then many others, Gabby Hernandez. Each one has their own collection, collects in their own way, and has some collect DVDs, some collect Blu-rays. There's the Blu-ray King, who is indeed the Blu-ray King, and he collects Blu-rays. But I really like the passion that the various collectors have when they talk about their collecting and when they talk about their collections and what they like to collect and why. So anyway, I'm going to start out my collection video with my King Kong collection. King Kong, the original, made in 1933, is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, movies, mostly because of the technical aspects of it. The first time that I ever saw it, I enjoyed it, but after I found out what really went into making it, I was just floored by that. And every time I watch it, I have a new appreciation for what it took to make it. So anyway, the collection I'm about to show consists of DVDs, Blu-rays, Laserdiscs, and VHS and so on. Because anything that's King Kong related, I'll tend to pick it up. So first off, these aren't videos, but they're worth mentioning. This first thing is the book The World of Kong, A Natural History of Skull Island. This is a must-have for any King Kong fan. This is based on Peter Jackson's King Kong movie, and it came out as a companion for the movie. What it's about is what it says it's about, the natural history of Skull Island. And it's written in the form of like a nature book that tells about how the animals evolved and just the history of the island and the flora, fauna, the animals, everything, the peoples there, and so on. It's an excellent book. When it first came out several years ago with the release of Peter Jackson's King Kong, it was $35. Now, if you find it for $50, you'll be doing extremely well. So all I can say is, if you ever see this for $50 or even $75 or less, then snag it. If you're a King Kong fan, it's called The World of Kong, A Natural History of Skull Island. Excellent book. I never get tired of reading it and looking at the illustrations in it. The next thing up is just something that came with a Blu-ray set that I'll be showing in a little bit, but this came from oh brother, what is it? It's not Blue Fans. I think Everything Blue, and they made a special edition of Peter Jackson's King Kong. box set, and this came with it. It's just a replica of the poster from Peter Jackson's King Kong. At the bottom it says something, can't remember what it says, but I cut that off a little bit there just so that I could get that framed right. Anyway, that's just that poster. And now to the movies. This is the CAV version of King Kong. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to play it on, but I bought it anyway, as many of you collectors out there do. You know, we'll find something, and if there's a particular movie that we really like, we'll buy it in a format that we can't even play it, just for completion's sake. So anyway, this is the CAV version, front and back. It has nice artwork on it, so I like that. Next up, let's see, this isn't necessarily King Kong related, but at the same time it is. This is just a VHS copy of a movie called Hollywood Goes Ape. It's a 2-disc set, and is basically a documentary about gorillas and apes in the movies. And I got it because it does talk about King Kong a little bit, and it also has Kong on the cover. 1933 Kong. Next up, we have King Kong on Betamax, which I can play. I like it. It came in this plastic case that I really like to protect it. I love the fact that it's Betamax. I'll have a tendency to watch this before I will watch it on a Blu-ray, because I'm one of these people that enjoys the nostalgia of being able to watch something on a quote-unquote dead format. Formats aren't totally dead because we're still able to watch them, but that's it. That's the Betamax version of King Kong. The picture quality is alright, and that could have to do with my Betamax player, but who knows. Now, next we have Mighty Joe Young. I don't have Son of Kong on Betamax yet, but I do have Mighty Joe Young on Betamax. And Mighty Joe Young was a decent movie. Now this says VHS on here, but it is a Betamax. I don't know why it says VHS on this side and Betamax on that side, but it is a Betamax. Again, another one that I enjoy watching rather than watching a Blu-ray of it. Okay, and then we have the 60th anniversary King Kong VHS. And this is the one that used to be, if you pressed on the chest, it would roar. The batteries are dead, and oddly enough, you can actually replace the batteries in this. So, and there's the, put that upside down, but that's the VHS. And I'm not going to take all the VHSs out. I'm just going to show what they look like here. In the back. Now this next one is actually the one that I should have shown first. This is the first copy of King Kong that I ever owned. It was on VHS. There's the back of it. It's all cut up, and it's in the, one of these snapping clamshell cases. And I used to watch this to death. I just loved it. I watch it literally once a week. But this was the first copy of King Kong that I ever owned. Next up, we have King Kong with Jeff Bridges And I guess it's who is this? Michael Groden. Let's see. I should know this. Jessica Lange and Charles Grodin. What in the world? I don't know why I was thinking Michael. Anyway, this is the cover of this one's a little bit faded, but I got it because this is a rare edition in that it opens up from this side, and it has, like, you can see the Paramount through the window, and it just slides out. And the VHS itself isn't necessarily so rare, but it's the packaging that I got this one for. And beside that one is another VHS. This is Paramount also, King Kong, and same one. Jeff Bridges, Jessica Lange version. Remake. The movie was alright. Wasn't anything to write home about, but it's it's watchable. So those two VHSs. Let's see, I have a couple more VHSs. I have Disney's Mighty Joe Young on VHS. Clamshell case. And this was a decent remake. Again, not King Lear, but it's watchable. And I found this in a Goodwill for $1, and I was so happy to find it. Was this VHS of King Kong versus Godzilla? Gotta have the King Kong versus Godzilla VHS. I was extremely happy to find this, especially for $1. It's not like it's rare, but I hadn't seen it a lot. Next up, we have Peter Jackson's King Kong again, and this one's on HD DVD. And this one, of course, HD DVDs and Blu-rays had kind of the same cover artwork, except the HD DVDs always had like this silver going around the sides of it, in these burgundy cases. Next, we have this is Son of Kong standalone on DVD. Has interior artwork. Really no frills, but it's good to have. Okay, again, we have the King Kong remake, the one with Jeff Bridges, Jessica Lange, Charles Grodin, and this one's on DVD. And I was fortunate enough to find this with the insert. And now we have the King Kong Deluxe Edition. I know a lot of people who have this edition. Again, Peter Jackson's version. This is the extended cut. As the scenes, I think there's like two more giant monster action going on in this one. And behind is like this map of Skull Island. I'm not going to take the discs out, but that's pretty much what that background is. This one's pretty easy to find. I'm always tripping over this one at places like Goodwill and so on. I don't buy them because I already have it. Now we have, again, Peter Jackson, King Kong. This is the Ultimate Edition on Blu-ray. This one's still sealed. There's really no reason for me to open it. This is has the free, or the dollars off coupon for The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I didn't hate The Mummy. A lot of people did. I didn't think it was so bad. It wasn't great. But again, it's watchable. And this King Kong Ultimate Edition has the lenticular cover. Next up, have the Monster Madness edition of King Kong. And this one, I think, is also the Peter Jackson King Kong. Let me take a look. I haven't opened it. No, this is not the Peter Jackson. This is the 1933 version. (1933 version), and I did watch this one. It looked grainy to me. I'll have to watch it on a different setup, but this one I was expecting it to look really sharp, but instead it just looked grainy. So I'll have to give that one another watch. Next up, we have, let me see. I have two of these. This is like a Best Buy version of King Kong. This one has this is the original, and it comes with two other versions of King Kong. I have two of these. One I keep sealed, and the other one I opened just so I could get to the goodies inside, because I really like the goodies. So this one, this is still sealed because I actually had three of these, and this a 10 of the original movie, and this one has like a bunch of lobby cards in it, and some replicas of the program and so on. So I had that, and there's another copy of Son of Kong. It's the same as that standalone that I just showed you. And then you had another DVD of Mighty Joe Young. And all of these are Marion Cooper. So there's a time he is just having a heyday with the big gorilla thing going. But this is a really good set. I've seen it like at varying prices. Sometimes I've seen it as low as like $10 or $12, and then I see it as high as over $100. So it's just basically catching the right person with, and it's not so much that it's one of those cases of a person not knowing what they have. It's not really a rare item. It can be hard to come by sometimes, but I would say $15-20 I pay for it, tops, at least right now. Next up, I'll go ahead and get this one out the way first. This is another King Kong collection, and it has the same thing in it as the one that I just showed you, but this one is kind of no frills. It just has the King Kong movie again with the original King Kong. This one isn't in a steel case, and this one also has like the lobby cards and so on. And it's a 2-disc set. And comes with the same Mighty Joe Young and Son of Cone. And it comes in this box. Next, we have. I'll do this one next. This is the Film Classics collection. This is VHS, and I had to determine which one I wanted to put this one in, or what category. But since it has King Kong in it, I leave it at the King Kong. So this one comes with King Kong, Citizen Kane, and Gunga Din. Comes with some glossy photos that correlate to the different movies. There's Gunga Din, Citizen Kane, another great movie in my opinion, and of course King Kong. And all these are still sealed. When I first bought this set, the Gunga Din didn't match the other ones. There's a different issue of Gunga Din, and I had to order this so they would all match. And you collectors out there know what that's all about. Just having to have everything just so. But there it is. That's from Turner Home Entertainment. This is actually a pretty nice set. Now we move on to, this is King Kong. It's Peter Jackson's production diaries. It does not have the movie in it. It's just purely the production diaries. This one isn't open, but I do have one that is open, because sometimes I like to go through it. It has take this top off. This one's a little beat up. Just a moment, let me get this on here. Okay, so on the inside, Peter Jackson's production diaries, has the certificate of authenticity, and this has different, I think, concept art for the movies. It's really nice. It's nice and thick, glossy. I liked the movie. I felt that it was maybe a half an hour longer than it needed to be, but that's just me. There's some people who felt it was just right, but yeah, I thought it was a little bit heavy on the front end, and then at the end, the whole Naomi Watts in an evening gown at the top of the Empire State Building in the wintertime and wasn't freezing to death. That whole thing kind of, I was like, oh okay. If you say so. Anyway, this is like the clipboard that has the production diaries, and it has different photos from the movie, and it also comes with a couple of DVDs, none of which is the movie. This is just all background stuff, and it's exhaustive. It's very nice. Shows how the movie was made and so on. So this is a nice thing to have as a King Kong collector. Next up, we have, and I'm going to take this out of the little folder here to show it, because this one was really hard for me to get, and I don't know why it was so hard for me to get, but it is the King Kong original 1933 on Blu-ray, and this is the Digibook. And the Digibook is somewhat rare, and I try to be careful about the way that I use the term rare, because there's a lot of times we use rare, and what we're really just saying is that it's cost prohibitive, because the thing is someplace to be found. It's just, do you want to pay this amount of money for it? So I personally consider rare to mean, even if you had $1 million, it would still be hard to get. Now that's rare. Not, I have $1 million and I can just go pay $500-$600 for something if I want to. So anyway, that was the King Kong Digibook. Next up, we have, here we go. This is a UK release of King Kong, and this one has let me see. This one has King Kong has the original 1933, and then it has the colorized King Kong 1933 on DVD. This also has King Kong versus Godzilla, which all us King Kong fans need, and Godzilla fans. And it has King Kong Escapes also. And I love this packaging, and I love what they did with it. When you open it up, you get those two discs, and then this in the middle, and then you can fold it up. Now, let me see. If it stands straight up, you remove this disc. I'm only going to take one out, but you have that, and it forms the Empire State Building, King Kong at the top. This is one of my favorite editions because of that. I just like the way that it's made, and it wasn't that expensive, frankly. And this also has, the booklet. Talks about Kong a little bit. Just a really, really nice release. I can't remember whose video I saw. This was a couple 3 years ago. I saw someone's video on this, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice set. I want that." And so I immediately started looking for it. Found it within 20 minutes, and it was very inexpensive. I mean, less than $15, and that's with shipping. So I snagged it up as quick as I could, and that was it. So, but that's that UK release. You do need a Region 2 player to play it, or a multi-region player. So next, we have the King Kong Steelbook, and this is let me see if this is the Peter Jackson. Yeah, that's the Peter Jackson version of King Kong Steelbook. And it's a nice Steelbook. It has the, when they were doing the comic covers, that was what this one was from. Okay, we're still on the Peter Jackson train here. We have the King Kong box set that comes with, and I apologize for all the glare. You probably can't see it, but this has the King Kong statue on the inside. Let me see if I can. You probably can't see that. I apologize if you can't. But take my word for it. There's a statue of King Kong has Darrow in his hands, climbing up the side of the Empire State Building, and this one comes with the 3-disc set. This is there we go. This is what that statue that's inside here looks like. And there's another one that's an even bigger set. That has the same thing, except this one, except that one has Kong, I think, still on Skull Island. Okay, and speaking of Kong Skull Island, there's Kong Skull Island, the Steelbook. That's the 4K Ultra Blu-ray 3D version. This was the Best Buy exclusive, and I, of course, snagged this one pretty quick when it came out. It was good movie. I enjoyed it. The whole thing with them was not capping Samuel L. Jackson's character when he started talking crazy is it is what it is. But there it is. Nice Steelbook. Get that glare off. Next up, we have the Everything Blue version. I have not opened this yet. This is 325 of 600 of the King Kong, Peter Jackson King Kong. And this is a very nice edition, nice box set. Again, I haven't opened it yet, but it comes with the 4K version and a bunch of extras, or a bunch of goodies, as I like to call them, because I love the goodies. And the card showing that this is 325 and they only made 600 of them. And this is a textured finish. I don't know if you can tell it right there. There we go. This is a textured finish on the, there we go, on the sleeve, on the box. So this is just very nice. Very nice to have. And these are, unfortunately, they're all sold out. So the only way to get it is to go to the Scalper's Paradise, and we all know what I'm talking about. So next up, we have some animated King Kong. This is anime from the, I forget what year this came out. But this was the old animated King Kong series. And that's volume 1 and volume 2. And I still haven't opened up volume 2 yet. But these were done in early anime, or anime, depending on how you want to say it. Very glad to have those in my collection. They're not rare by any stretch. But they're just good to have as a King Kong fan. Okay, we have King Kong Return to the Jungle and King Kong the Animated Series, volumes 1 and 2. Box set. I haven't opened these yet. This is a different series, King Kong Animated. And you can actually see these watch these on YouTube, most of them. And I have another of the same one, except this one. And you'll find out about the video connoisseur that he loves the goodies. Love the goodies. This one comes with a little King Kong toy in it. It's the same series as the one that I just showed you, but it comes with the toy. And what it does is, as it shows on the back, if you get it wet, then it grows up to 600 times its original size. And that's a lot, 600 times. So imagine this, 600 times bigger than it is. But other than that, it's the same set that I just showed you. It took me a minute to get hold of this one too. Next up is the same series that I just showed you. But this one, it was so difficult to get because it was so expensive. I didn't pay a lot for it, but now you just can't find this thing cheap. And I mean, you can't find it cheap. And it's Kong animated series, 5-disc set, and this one comes in the tin. And I have not opened it, so I got this one like super cheap. I bought it off of someone selling on Amazon, and before I ordered, I was like, is this the steel, the steel case edition? And they said yeah, it's what's pictured. And I took a chance. I was like, there's no way that this going this cheap. And there it is. And sealed. Factory sealed. So, and I won't be opening this. But yeah, I'm extremely glad to have this in my collection. Because I chased this one for like a year and a half. Trying to find it reasonably priced. And then I just jumped on top of it as soon as I saw it. All right. Next is the 60th anniversary edition of King Kong. This is a limited collector's edition VHS set, and it's pretty large, and I like it. I like the front of it has this is textured. You may not be able to tell it, but that's like material. And then it has, the classic picture of King Kong, 60th anniversary. This is a different texture than the rest of the case, but it still feels like cloth. And it opens up, has the certificate of authenticity. And this was on the back originally, and this just shows everything that comes in it. And this is pretty much it. Has the classic edition of King Kong. This is still sealed. This one also, used to roar, doesn't now. And then it has It Was Beauty Killed the Beast documentary, and then it has this film cell from, there we go, I don't think you'd be able to see this, but it has this film cell that is inside plexiglass. I said plexiglass. And I actually have 2 of these editions, and I checked them, and these film cells are different scenes from the movie. So this is just a nice touch. I'm really glad to have that in the collection. And this is a pretty good size there, and that's the side, the spine. Very nice. It looks nice on the shelf. And then the back just has the Turner Home Entertainment logo and some stuff. So, but other than that, it's there. So that's that. On Laserdisc, we have King Kong. This one, I was surprised when I played this and found out that it had a commentary track. I don't know why. I think maybe it says it somewhere on the disc itself, but um, for some reason I wasn't expecting it to have one. I can't remember where I got this. I think I got it in a lot of some other movies. But it's to me, it's not that great of a transfer. Looks a little off center to me, but it's nice for what it is. If I just feel like watching a laser disc of it and hanging out, whatever. So, and this is an image video release of it. Laser Classics. Okay. Next, we have the King Kong, Son of Kong Laserdisc set. I will take this one out so that you can see. This one is a gatefold. You've probably seen this before. It has the King Kong. This is just a really nice addition. Nice gatefold. I love that. The way that they did that. And the fact that it has both features on there. And I like the artwork that they chose for both too. So this is just a really nice edition. RKO Classics edition. Also by Image. This will be just a moment putting this back in the plastic sleeve. And next, I'm still putting this in the sleeve. There we go. Okay. And next, we have the still factory sealed 60th anniversary edition of King Kong. Again, Image Entertainment. Classic artwork for the cover. There's some liner notes on the rear. And again, this one is still factory sealed. I have no reason to open it. I have a million copies of it. So original 1933. But this is probably one of my favorite images of King Kong. Next up, we have the 60th anniversary colorized. I won't say bastardized. Some people feel that way, including me. Colorized version of King Kong on Laserdisc. And this one, this image, not one of my favorite images of King Kong. I think there's this looks kind of like Dead Space to me, but you know, it is what it is. And the back of it kind of looks like the rear of the regular black and white copy, as far as the way that they have the artwork on the right side. And then on the left, well, they still have basically the same liner notes. But over here, you can see the planes. And they have the sky and the clouds. I guess they're trying to emphasize that it's in color. But it's a nice addition. I've watched it through once. And it's not bad. The Criterion Collection, King Kong. And this, I don't think this is spine. Let me see what spine number this is. I can't tell. I don't see. But I do know that this is the third iteration of this. The first one didn't have um, the logo at the bottom here. No, it had. I think it had this. It didn't have the Janus logo, but the gray box set. The first one was a little bit larger. The second one was pretty much standard size and had the Janus logo. And I'm still hunting for that one. I had a chance to get it, didn't snag it. Been resenting it. Been regretting it ever since. But this is the edition most Laserdisc collectors who collect who have King Kong has, is this one. And then there are a few fortunate souls who do have the spine number 2. I do have spine number 1, which is Citizen Kane. So I'm pretty happy about that. And that one's still the second, the second release of it. I'm not crazy about the way they did this artwork though. Even though this is my favorite image for King Kong, the way they put this on here just looks odd, especially for a Criterion Laserdisc. That just looks odd to me. But it's but the transfer is good, so I enjoy watching that. Next, we have on Laserdisc Mighty Joe Young, the original. I haven't watched this Laserdisc yet, but I'm very happy to have it. I like the artwork a lot. Keep it back so get some of that glare off. I like the artwork a lot. And I like the fact that they just kept this like in black and white. And the way they did this. I mean, that looks awesome to me. Which is one of the things I like about Laserdiscs in general, is just the way that it has such awesome artwork. Or that they have such awesome artwork. And it's big, so you can see it. Suitable for framing. This one I didn't find out was rare until after I got it. And I got this one in a lot where I got it in the same lot where I got the Mighty Joe Young. I was thinking the Mighty Joe Young would be the rare one, but it's not. It's this one. The Mighty Joe Young from Disney. This one I found is rare on Laserdisc. I'm glad to have it. I've seen it before. Again, it's a decent movie. It's watchable. But I'm just very glad to have this Laserdisc, especially after finding out the rarity of it. There's the front. There was the front and back. And last, but certainly not least, from Japan, we have King Kong 2 with the Obi strip. Obi strips are like slipcovers. If you don't have it, you don't have the movie. I have some Japanese that I don't have the Obi strip for, but I like for completion's sake, I like having the Obi strips. So there we go. That's the rear. And it's actually King Kong Lives, as you see. But it was in Japan as King Kong 2. Very, 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 very glad to have this one. Got this one in that same lot. And just very, very pleased to have it. Because this one's a little hard to find. So that's about it. That is the King Kong collection from the Video Connoisseur. The next collection I'll be doing will most likely be the Wizard of Oz collection. So you will find some slight overlap with some of my different movies, and that'll be because like if I'm doing like a Laserdisc collection, then you'll probably be seeing these again. Or if I do a Criterion collection, you'll be seeing that Criterion got King Kong again, and so on. So there may be slight overlap sometimes, but my collection consists of well over 5,000 DVDs, Blu-rays, VHSs, Laserdiscs, and so on. So I look forward to showing them to you. I look forward to talking to you about them and talking about collecting in general. So I appreciate you watching this first video, so that you're not looking at blank space. I should have something up there, huh? So anyway, I thank you for watching this first video. If you enjoyed it, then like it, share it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Probably be The Wizard of Oz. Maybe not. We'll see. Take care.